did not just say that right now. Hi, I'm Aura, and today I'm starting my reading vlog. I am about to start a new series. If you watched my last video, so I'm doing a TBR box, and I chose a sticker notes from what I'm going to read this time, and the box chose for me to read the Dreamland Billionaires series. And I am bringing you along with my journey with reading the series, and I'm beginning exactly where I should, with fine print. Everybody keeps talking about this series, so I'm kinda excited to start this journey. So I'm gonna bring you along and giving you all my thoughts. So let's roll into reading this whole series. So let the reading begin. Right now I'm starting Rowan's story. I'm starting the fine print. So I wanted to read to you what is it about. Rowan, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, production companies, 5-star hotels, theme parks. Everything can be mine if I renovate Dreamland. Hiring Zahra was a great plan until I fell for her. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. Zahra, after submitting a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch? I had to work for the most difficult boss I've ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care, at least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. So, I'm gonna go have dinner, and I'm gonna start reading the fine print tonight. We start first scene, and the main character, Rowan, describes himself as a cold rock with no emotions. So he received a letter from his grandpa, and on the will he instructed him that he has 6 months for him to be the director of Dreamland, which is, in our real world, is Disney. So, and he needs to make the park better in 6 months. Otherwise, he won't get his inheritance, and Dreamland and everything else will be going to his father, that he and his brothers hate very much. This is the first chapter. This is what we learned from Rowan, that he hates his father, that he's at a funeral, and he said the weirdest thing, that he threw himself at his mom's grave. I'm not sure. And then in the same chapter we meet the main character, Zahra, the love interest. So I took a break from reading to make some tea. So I want to update you on the book. So I reached page 41. Okay, so the thing is, Zahra is cool, but Rowan, what is he doing? What is he saying? I don't know. I feel like he's so immature and rude. And I'm gonna have some snacks. So I'm gonna have some chips and some dark chocolate. He did not just say that right now. Is this book spicy? Is this a spicy book? Is this a spicy book? There's no way. Where does it say that it's going to be a spicy book? Rowan, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, production companies, 5-star hotels, theme parks. Everything can be mine if I renovate. Dreamland, Zahra was great plan until I fell for her. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. It doesn't say spicy. Zahra, after submitting a job proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive bride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch, I had to work for the most difficult boss I've ever met. The most immature boss. Rowan was rude and completely honest, but my heart didn't care. It's not a love story, secret. It was hard to teach the billionaire woman with everything she does. What do you mean? I have the whole series. I don't read spicy. I don't. Oh, it's contemporary romance. I didn't know that. It's contemporary romance. Okay. No freaking way. The genre romance, contemporary romance, enemies to lovers, workplace romance, and then and spicy. New adult. What the actual frick? Oh my world. Yeah, this is what I get for not reading what this book is about and buying it blindly. I bought the whole series blindly. That's what I get. That's what I get. You know what? I can skim through that. I can just not read those chapters. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, that's the plan. That's the plan. It's not even that good. So, I'm literally halfway through the book and I have some concerns. I don't know if this is a spoiler or anything, but Zahra had enough and she thought highly of him, but right now she doesn't want to talk to him. So we'll see what happens. He called her to his office to speak. So I know you would ask yourself, why did she buy the series, the whole 3 books, if she doesn't like the grumpy sunshine kind of books? But I did not do that. So it was recommended by my cousin and I trust her book recommendation, so I didn't even think twice about it. So I bought the whole series and it was a good discount, so I didn't want to miss out on that. And a fine line between grumpy and rude, and he's not being the grumpy kind, he's just being rude right now. So I found a park bench. I took my lunch hour and I'm here so I can read a little bit. So far, chapter 33 is my favorite, so okay, let me update you on this book. So I've been bored by this book. I'm trying my best not to fall asleep and go through it and skipping the spicy chapters. But it's so easy. I actually have zero words. I just love the taste of nothing. I felt no connection to these characters. They break up on the stupidest things ever. So immature, which is not far from him. Rowan is so immature. My question is, how is this book so popular? The amount of girls that I saw at the fair and at the bookshop buying this book, like teenagers buying this book, because it doesn't have a warning. It doesn't say, or I didn't know that. Are you kidding me? So this is where I have to stop and I have to say something. So I don't think I introduced the main character, main character. Her name is Zahra and she is a Dreamland employee, the Disney quote-unquote employee. And let's talk about Zahra. So if you ever watched the movie Confessions of a Shopaholic, you will understand when you read Zahra's chapter about her. This is not a spoiler because this is literally at the beginning. She gets drunk. She is with her best friend. She lives with her best friend. But the thing that bothered me about this, it's a copy and paste scene from Confessions of a Shopaholic. As she gets drunk, she spends the night with her best friend, and then they get drunk together, and she encourages her to write about what she loves, and that scene is a copy and paste in here. So Zahra is the same thing. She is with her best friend, and then they get drunk, and she tells her that she's not happy about her designs because previously her designs were stolen by her ex-boyfriend and she didn't get credit for. So she gets drunk and she writes her idea, and drunkly she sends it to Rowan. It's exactly the same thing as Confessions of a Shopaholic, as she wasn't accepted at a fashion magazine job that she wanted, and then she wrote an email or letter, I think a letter. She wrote a letter to them while drunk, and then plot twist, she sent it to another job and she gets accepted. So it's exactly the same thing. She gets a notification from Rowan in the morning telling her that he needs to speak to her. The same thing that, I think her name is Rebecca from Confessions of a Shopaholic. She receives a phone call from the main character at the movie, and he tells her that he needs to speak to her about a job, and she gets accepted. I feel like Zahra is exactly Rebecca. I think her name is Rebecca. It's just copy and paste right now, and I can see the similarities in their personalities, and they are being bubbly, and yeah, I don't think that's interesting. That's an interesting thing to read and realize, especially if that scene you watched it for a lot of times. for that to happen again in here, I don't know. It wasn't creative and it wasn't something new. It was something copy and pasted or stolen, I can say, from Confessions of a Shopaholic. So also, while I'm at it, I'm gonna say that Rowan, what bothers me so far is the fact that he looks down at his employees and he cuts down their bonuses and he's not paying them well, and he's asking them to stay after work for 14 hours and 16 hours without a compensation, and for them to provide him with the perfect plan and the perfect ideas and designs without actually being compensated. He doesn't care about anyone there. He doesn't have to care, but to me, if your employees do not like you, you're not a good boss. And from what I can see, that he's just being rude and looks down at the employees that have been working there for years and years, even though he didn't do anything to reach that level of hard work. Mind you, in all of this, that she is his employee as well. So if he looks down on them, this book was painted as the grumpy sunshine kind of love story, but from what I can see, he's just being rude and she's being dumb. I said what I said. And after receiving that email from Zahra or whatever request she sent with her idea, you would think that she would be fired, since he's threatening to fire everybody. And no, just because he thinks she's hot, and no, he's gonna accept her to be in the position. I just read a little bit more of the fine print, and I have a lot to say. The only thing they keep noticing about each other is how hot they are, and the way they describe each other is just nauseating. And I'm not sure what the author thinks. The only thing I keep reading is how hot he is and how his suit is perfect for him, and it's just superficial. And I don't know what this book is bothering me right now. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with it, why is it popular, and where is it going, because from what I can see, it's getting under my nerves right now. He only describes her figure and her curves, and he only describes the way his suit, he's hot. You can notice other things about people other than their physical appearance. Even though you think they're hot and they're cute, there's other things you can describe as an author other than that. And she spent so much time describing and explaining the way Zahra dresses. We understand that she dresses in color. We don't need to, you don't need to give us a full OOTD about what she's wearing and how she did her hair. Especially him, how would he understand a double-sided braid or a messy bun with a fringe or sided fringe? How would he understand? This book is getting under my nerves, and I am pushing through at the moment to see what's gonna happen and where this is going. And the story is so boring right now, and it's so predictable. He's so rude to his employees, to her, to everyone, literally to everyone. And that's not hot, and that's not something cute you would think about a man. That's not a grumpy man. Also, she keeps talking about Pride and Prejudice, and you can't compare both men. You can't compare Rowan to, I forgot his name. You can't compare both. This one, Fine Print, Rowan, and Pride and Prejudice have nothing in common, but the main character loving the movie and rewatching it over and over again, rewatching every version of it. Rowan is just a rude man. I just need to take a deep breath and try to see this book through. The thing is, every time he opens his mouth, it's just garbage and bad things, and him being rude to everybody and to her, and getting away with it just because he has money. Like, why is he like that? What happened to him? So yeah, that's what I have. That's the as an update for the fine print. One star. If I could give it a half star or 0 stars, I would. This book is the guide of to not date your boss. When a man has power over you, they can do anything. Secondly, never ever date a man who is rude to other people and only nice to you. He's pretending. That's not him. You're not bringing out his good side. He just wants something from you. And for Zahra, if he was getting tired of her, if he didn't want her after that, he was only scared of HR, because if she reported him to HR, things would have went so bad for him, and the consequences of those actions he took with Zahra and actually could affect his brothers Declan and Cal. So he treaded lightly, and I think he convinced himself that he loves her. And why do they have to go and be so rude and do bad things for them to actually realize and know at the end, oh, I'm in love with her. She actually makes my life so much better. The only thing she is tolerating you is because you have money and you can fly her everywhere. Don't even with these men. Don't even. Because if another man do this to a woman, they wouldn't even stay. They wouldn't even stay. And the unrealistic thing about this, at the end, he finally realized that he has daddy issues and he doesn't want to become like his dad. He spent all his life like that, and then he waited for to come and make him realize that he's a terrible person and he needs to fix himself. Like, didn't they date other people? So yeah, I took a moment before I gave my review because I was so angry. I felt like I wasted my time reading this book and it's not even that good, but it's okay. I get to read the second book next, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe Declan, I think his name is Declan, maybe Declan is better. Maybe Declan would surprise us. Yeah.